Okay, Rob here once again with Smart Profit Money. I'm here to give you a quick overview on how to design a custom widget graphic, just like you see right here. Okay, right here. So if you guys are ready, go ahead and watch me build this out. I will do this in real time, and I will give it to you for free when this video is over. Okay, so if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we are back. We are inside the Smart Profit Money blog. I do want to explain exactly what this is. This is a custom graphic right here that I built from scratch. So the reason for this video, I guess we should say, somebody asked me to build this pretty much real-time live on, well, I shouldn't call it live, but let's go ahead and call it real-time video. So somebody told me to build it out on video so that they can see how it's done. So that's what I'm actually doing. So I guess you can call this somewhat of a challenge, I guess. So we're going to build this guy out right here. So as you can see how this widget is, it does have a top header style. It's built in layers, and it does have a custom button. The one that we are going to build, and I will actually do this super fast just so you guys can see. And keep in mind, I will give this to you at the end of the video for free. And you can find this right here on how I did that right there. So you can go back and go ahead and always download it from how I did that. That's where you will find this graphic. So let me just go ahead and say a few things how this thing is actually built. It's going to be built on a PNG. We're going to turn it into a GIF image because it's going to, at the very end, this little thing right here, this button is going to blink. Somebody told me to go ahead and make a blinking one, so that's what I will do. All my graphics that you pretty much see on any of my websites, I actually build them from scratch. I don't purchase any buttons. I haven't in a long time. I've always built my own stuff. There's very few that I actually use that were built from another graphics person. I mean, it's always good to use whichever way you can, wherever you can get your graphics is fine. But I choose to build a lot of my own just because I like to have total control of the way I want my graphics to actually look. So that's probably why I do it. And of course, you should be able to see my pointer on screen. I forgot to say that. It should be right there. You guys can see it. So let's go ahead, enough talking about that, and I want to show you how this works. So when you guys get this graphic, you can put it on your own website and use it as a widget. So when somebody goes ahead and clicks on it, they can actually get the book from you. So it's going to be for an ebook. Now keep in mind, it's not going to say from Rob. We're going to get rid of that when we build it. And you can use this as your own download. So they can't really read this. This is so small, and I will actually make it smaller on the new graphic that we actually built. So it will work for your website. Let me go in here and show you really quick how this works. If you do decide to use it as a downloadable book, you can use one of your autoresponders. We'll do this for you. This is actually done with a custom, I should say, custom setup that I do. This is not from a autoresponder. This is done from a custom plugin that does this. It's actually a shopping cart plugin, which is WP Store is how this is done. So you can actually do this without using a autoresponder. A lot of people think they have to use an autoresponder to create a download. You can do this like I've done here. So if you need more information on this, let me know. Somebody puts their name, email, and they receive this download instantly, and for that you receive their information. So enough of that. Let's go ahead and get into how to build this custom graphic so you guys can have one. So let's go ahead and jump right into the program. The program that I am using today for this project will be Adobe Fireworks. This is from the Adobe product lineup, which also they have Photoshop. So you can use Photoshop, Fireworks, whichever one that you guys feel most comfortable with. Go ahead and choose that product to build whatever you guys work with. So anyhow, this one is just the one I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using it super fast. This is not a video for you guys to actually learn. This is just for fun. You guys can watch how somebody builds a custom graphic. So we're going to be building this guy right here, and I'm going to show you real quick. I took out some of the parts, or I copied them. Here are some of the parts just to keep this video flowing fast. Let's see here. You can see that here's my colors that I'm going to be using. This is my logo, and just certain things that I just need, the little image of the book. So all this, everything you see here is built from scratch. I built it myself. Even the little ebook that comes from a program that I use. If you're interested in that, I can show you guys how to create your own ebook with one click. Boom, it does it, and it creates the graphic for you. So that's set and done. Let's just start building this thing. Okay, so here we are on a canvas. I always put my canvas somewhat large, and I do understand that what you guys see on your screen, you probably will not be able to see certain things. Let me just close this. Okay, right here you guys will probably see up to probably here. You can't see everything. I am clicking on a few buttons up here, which the only thing I'm clicking on that you guys can't see is my layers panels, where I can go ahead and jump really quick. One really cool thing about Fireworks, you don't have to go into the regular layers panel over here on the right. You can just go to the top and click on these little buttons, and then that moves your layer front to back just with one click. Super easy. So let's go ahead and drop in what we need. We're going to put a rectangle in really quick, and I'm going to set this at the size that we need it to be, which is going to be 250. This is the size of our widget. Most widgets are anywhere from 250 to 300 in width and height. This one's more on the smaller side. I would say average is like 285, 292. So let's go ahead and get rid of that color inside. Let's go ahead and give it a little black line just that goes around. You should be able to see that on screen. We will be removing this, and keep in mind that when this graphic is done, it's going to look like this. So you're not going to see, it's going to look like full width header like on a website, and then you have your, this is called a sheet width on a website. So your sheet width is smaller and it's going to blend in. So it's going to look really cool, and the way that's accomplished is by using a white background. Now you could always go transparent, but we're going to keep it white. As long as you're using it on a white background website, then it should float and look like a little miniature website. Again, what I'm talking about is this again. You have your header. I'm going to call this the header, and as you can see, even though this image as we're building is actually this big, it's a complete square, but it looks like it's not on here because the graphics are inside the center. So let's go right into it and start building. Here we go. We're going to start flying on this thing. Okay, let's go ahead and drop in the header. Enough of me talking. I will try not to talk too much as I go. And as you can see, I just dropped in the header. I'm going to be moving things around. Things will be out of place as we're building, and that's totally fine. And we're going to drop in the first color on the top. If the computer lets me do what I want, hopefully I can do it quick. Whoops. Okay, let's go right into this, and we're going to light that up, and we're going to click this, and we're going to drop this right here. There we go. There's our header. Let's go ahead and put the text in, which is how to start, and we can see that's Rockwell extra bold. So I'm just going to go ahead, and I'm not going to copy what I have done. Whoops. Let's go ahead and drag it out again. Okay, so how to start, let's go ahead and change that to a white, and we're going to kick up the size to right about there, maybe just a little bit, whoops, right about there. If it's too big, yep, it's too big. Let's go ahead and drop it down to, I believe, 32. 32 is good. Of course, being a graphics person, as you know, if you guys do graphics, we're always moving things around, and nothing seems to ever be perfect for us because we're so picky. And that's totally normal if you find yourself doing that as well. Welcome to the world of graphics. We're never happy, but you got to know when is enough. Anyhow, I'm dropping in. This is just a logo. I do want to show you something on this logo. All this is a regular logo. The reason why you can't see it is because I do have opacity turned way down. There it is there with 100%. I'm going to drop it down to 27. Okay, all I'm going to do is drag this. And remember, when you're using a custom graphics program like this one here, this is considered a real graphics program. Anytime you use Adobe products, that's one of the real ones. There's a lot of programs coming out that are super easy to use, But this one works in layers. Anytime you use a real program, you'll notice that they always work in layers, and that's for a reason. So you can move things around, and it's just how they were built and how we kind of learned. Anyhow, so there's that. Let's go ahead and drop in this book. And we're going to resize this book. I do want it smaller. One of the reasons why I'm going to make it smaller, because I know you guys are going to use it on your own website. So the harder I make it for somebody to actually see what it is, it will work for you. You don't have to worry about saying, well, I want to offer an ebook, but I don't want to offer yours. Well, fine, they can't read it anyhow. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Let's go ahead and put this text in here, my free ebook. We're going to do this in 2 parts. And let me just do that one more time. I'll show you what I mean. And we're going to drop that down to 22. For now, we'll go ahead and resize in a second. And let's try to adjust these things really quick. We're not going to use my name like I did originally, so let's just make sure we're on copper black. And we're going to use this guy here, copper black mini course. Whoops. And let's move it up. We'll change the colors in a second. As you can see, things move along pretty quick as long as I don't make a mistake. Yeah, somebody, well, a bunch of people actually thought that we purchase these, or who does our graphics. Once you start doing websites or graphic design, you're probably going to end up doing a lot of the stuff yourself for your own and not worry about what somebody's doing for you. So we're going to be putting this color in. Didn't take it. There we go. Now just copy the color like this. Okay, so we got these two. Let's go ahead and start to move things up. Let's move our graphic way up where it should be. And we'll move this right there, and we'll change all the sizing in a second. This is just to give me some room. That book is too big. I need room for my button. Actually, I don't even know how I got away with this when I first built the original one. Okay, let's make sure we're on 250. Sometimes the size it moves. Okay, so we're going to go to 50. Height is not correct. There we go. I wonder why I look too short. So let's go ahead and there we go. Go back this way. And we'll shrink that book now a little bit. Sorry, I did a backwards. You know what? Let me just get rid of this book really quick and go back in here because I blew the size. Okay, now we can go ahead and shrink it down. Okay, we're coming to pretty close to, which I like to call trimming out. Well, I'll move that here in a second. So let's go ahead and create a button now. And we're going to use this guy right here. And we need a color. It should be this one, I believe. I saved my colors earlier before starting this video, so I didn't jump around too much for you guys. Okay, now let's let's go back in here, light this up, and we're going to give it a color. If you have any questions on the way I created this, go ahead and ask me. Download, let's go ahead and make that smaller. First of all, let's get rid of this line. It doesn't need no line. That's going to be white. We're getting there, where I'll move things around in a second. If you're wondering where all my little parts come from, like I said, I built everything. This one here comes from over here, 2D objects. It's actually media play, that one, and you just drag it up. So let's go ahead and copy that to the mouse, and let's drop her right in. I'll show you what that does. That's not what we wanted. Let me try one more time. This is for our button. Here it comes. And we're going to change the fill color on that. And we're going to go white. When we go white, it's going to disappear, of course. And I'm going to resize it to real small. Okay, this guy goes right here. It's actually too big still, so you go ahead and resize it even more. It needs to be real small when you work with this. I need to make my button just a little bit bigger. Keep in mind, when you work with buttons, you have to get them just right, or they just don't look like it was correctly made. And that's why I'm pretty picky with these guys. For the sake of this video, we're going to, let's see, 380. Whoops, wrong way. 390. 390, so we're going to go 385, should be just about right. No, what am I doing? 387. Okay. So is the button in the correct spot? Probably not. So we want to get it right pretty much center. Now the way to do this would be to use some guide tools, but I'm not using those. This is for the sake of trying to make things right. Hold on one second. Okay, so there's our button. It's about there. Let's go ahead and click on a button, put a drop shadow in it, just give it some cool look to it. And too much, let's go on a 5. So there we go. So we pretty much have the book almost, well, the widget the way we want it. Let's go ahead and check the original. I want to see something. Let's see, we're at 21. You see where we're at on our 22. That's fine. That's fine. 22, 22. I'm going to drop this one down to 20. I'm going to go a lot bigger on this one. And go up a little. this one as well. There we go. We just want things to look kind of right so everything stands out. Okay, I'm kind of taking too much time on this, so let's go ahead and lose our border. Let's give it a quick guide view. See where I am on my guide. Make sure I have the same distance, because remember, this is gonna look like a sheet width on a computer, so that's pretty good. Maybe right about there. Okay, so you got the same distance from here to here, here to here, and on the bottom, and the button is actually not too much in the center, but it's gonna have to do. Okay, let's go ahead and take that out, and let's lose our, let's see what we got on fit to canvas before we do any more. Quick. So we want to fix our sizes. We're trimming out. This is what we call trimming out. Trim this out so it's just right. See, make sure we got everything right. Canvas size, okay, so look like we're pretty good. Let me just make sure. Still jumping around. We're okay. So right there should be just about right. This guy needs to be up a little bit. I do have this graphic floating over the W, and that's done on purpose. Let's move this up. You want it to stick out over the top. I kind of like the way that looks. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this button now blink. So let's go ahead and go straight into states and go ahead and give it a number 5. It's going to give us a total of 6 states. So what we're going to do is, number 1, this one here, we're going to click here, and we're going to change the color on this to yellow. So I know it's an annoying color, but it actually works. So actually we're going to change the color on that too as well to yellow as well, so it looks good. Okay, we're going to go this one yellow and change the color of this one as well to yellow. And one more, and you'll see what this does when I'm done with it. And we're pretty much done, so hang in there. I'm sorry for this video taking so long. I was hoping to do this much faster, but seems like every time I try I always end up going back and forth. So we got white, yellow, white, yellow, white, yellow. Okay, so let's go ahead and change our speeds. This is the speed that we want the blinking to occur, and let's go ahead and test it out. And there it goes there. It's nice and smooth. Looks pretty good. So there's exactly how our widget's going to be. Let me double check the size one more time. 250, 250. All you have to do now is save this. If you guys are trying to create graphics like this, make sure if you were building out in PNG format or you're saving, go ahead and just save it now to GIF. So you want to save this as a GIF. So, and this will run on a white background, so you can see that it's white. Now, if you were to use this on a black background, probably won't look right. And there's what I'm trying to show you right there. It's not going to look right. So actually, you don't have to worry about that because we're going to save it with a white background, so it should look fine. If you try to use it on a website that has a darker image, it should work because we're going to save this with its own background. You don't have to worry about that. You should test it first though, but it should be fine. again, let's go ahead and test the states. There it goes there. Okay, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It was just for fun to see how to create a graphic that is for a widget on a website. And keep in mind, this is totally free, so if you guys want this little widget, go ahead and click on how I did that on the website and go ahead and download it for free. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and leave any comments that you guys have in the comment section, and we will see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.